Somebody they steal and somebody they buy. Somebody they see what the same person is buy. Now every day I'm living this. 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 Now every day I'm living this.
It's my musical. There are crimes in many places, in every community, you can see. So if you see crime and body, don't take law in your hand, call the right authority. Tell it can't take care of it. Crime stopper here for us, bringing safety to your door. Whether you rich or you poor, if you see a you must talk it, I mean you cheche. Do it for your safety. If you see it, don't keep it. You must call to report it. Crime stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime stopper, Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crime for all of us. Crime stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime stopper, Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crime for all of us.
Crime Stopper Liberia is your community crime fighting partner. Don't take the law into your own hands. Remember, if you see a crime, report it. This is a message from your own self, Old Man Sam Sion.
Crime stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime stopper, Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crime for all of us. Crime stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime stopper, Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crime for all of us.
Abby, why you taking?
I said, darling, you look so worried.
Charles, I'm worried because I don't know where to get stuff for my shop and restaurant.
Oh, come on, man. Haven't you heard about Exeter's Best Price Store on Gurley Street and Smart Road Junction on the Old Road?
Oh, no, Charles. Tell me about it.
Exeter's Best Price Store got everything for your shop and restaurant. And the good news is that they have reduced the prices of craft beer products and imported beverages. So to keep that graduation party, wedding reception, and whatever occasion jumping till the break of dawn, Exeter's Best Price Store is that place for you.
Is that all?
No, they have for the first time introduced on the LIB market Buffalo Revive that comes with 4 different flavors: Cool Blue, Apple Kiwi, Full Red, and Fitness Orange. It's good for athlete and everyone. For wholesale and retail supply, call cell number 0770-617-575. Exeter's Best Price Store on Gurley Street and the Old Road Smart Road Junction. We are your cheaper wholesale and retail store.
Easy, when you want some more, I provide. So we start to talk. Come on, so going to 20 pop. Put it to EGP. When chicken say, it's a gossip. As soon as they break, when chicken say,
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning to the peace loving people of Liberia. Welcome to the April 29 edition of the program from the Pre News this beautiful Tuesday in the nation's capital, Monrovia. My name is Wendell Nimne, and I'm here this morning with Esther Daku and Aliyu Masale. Esther, good morning.
Good morning, and we have Gus just joined us. Let me bring
Okay,
him
yeah.
on. So, good morning, folks. It's good to be here on the Tuesday edition of the program from the Print News, where I'm able to share my view on the various stories happening in our country.
Gus, good morning. Aliyu, good morning.
Good morning, Esther. Good morning, Mr. Nimland. Good morning, Gus Coleman. Haliyu Masari from Baltimore, Maryland, USA. Glad to be here. Good morning, Mama Labira.
Yeah, good morning. Hopefully you guys can help me loud and clear.
Yes, we can.
Okay. Good morning. It's Gus Kwama. Glad to be here. I'll be listening.
All right, folks. So let's recognize some of the folks. Just don't know where you are, but if you are somewhere where you stay there in the morning, we say good morning. If you are there and it's in the afternoon, we want to say good afternoon. It's in the evening, we want to say good evening to you. And welcome to the April 29 edition of the program from the Print News. And as usual in our studio this morning, the Daily Observer and the front page Africa hard copy is before us this morning. And very, very interesting stories to share with you, our followers. So let's recognize all of you following us on my personal Facebook page. Our man Amos J. Vincent, good morning from Liberia. Michael Jibe is following from Grand Bassa County. Priscilla Snowy is following. Stephen Yakun, my friend, is also following. All of you following us, welcome to this edition of the program. So let's begin with the front page Africa newspaper, and we will get to top stories first, beginning with politics. Siphoning government's portion is a question mark to this caption. LRA misappropriated US 6.7 million government of Liberia share of medtech revenue. GSC audit finds. Very, very interesting story. All right. Siphoning government's portion is the caption with a question mark. LRA misappropriated US 6.7 million government of Liberia share of medtech revenue, the GSC audit finds. Okay, I think it's important that we take a few lines from there. A compliance audit conducted by the General Auditing Commission has revealed that the Liberia Revenue Authority misappropriated approximately US 6.7 million intended for the government of Liberia from revenues generated under the Destination Inspection Agreement with Medtech Scientific Limited. The audit, covering the period of July 1, 2022 to October 31, 2024, was submitted to the national legislature and uncovered several disturbing findings. Chief among them that the LRA diverted the government's 20% share of revenue for its own use instead of depositing the funds into the consolidated fund accounts as required. The Destination Inspection Agreement was signed on April 21, 2021 by the government of Liberia, represented by the LRA, the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning, Ministry of Justice, and other key government agencies. According to the GSC report, Section 1.0, 2 of the Memorandum of Understanding between Medtech Scientific Limited, the government of Liberia, and EcoBank Liberia Limited required that all fees payable by exporters and importers for services be deposited into a designated transitory account for onward distribution among the parties with a minimum balance maintained as per the bank's terms and conditions. However, during the audit, the GSC observed that the LRA failed to remit US 6.7 of the government's 20% share into the consolidated fund. Instead, the funds remain in Medtech's account, and the LRA made direct payment requests to Medtech for disbursements in its favor. In clear violation of the agreement, in its response, the LRA argued that the Liberia Revenue Code and the Destination Inspection Agreement authorized the collection of custom service fees directly by the LRA for issuance of customs documents and related services. Well, folks, grab a copy and get to follow the rest of the story. Let's get to more stories. It says here, battle for quorum. Power struggle intensifies in House as Kofa and Kun camps lobby for majority support. Another interesting story. Let's take a few lines from there. Very, very interesting. And so let's run and take a few lines. All right. Let's get to that story. Right. Let's see. Yes, we are there. Liberia is getting interesting every day. I'm telling you. It says, as the 55th National Legislature prepares to resume its second quarter session in May, intense lobbying is underway within the House of Representatives as both camps, lawyer to embattled Speaker Jonathan Fonati Kofa and Majority Black Speaker Richard Namwekon seek to secure a decisive quorum. The renewed political maneuvering follows the recent Supreme Court ruling, which affirmed Speaker Kofa's legitimacy and invalidated sessions conducted by the Cone-led bloc. However, President Joseph Boakar's public statement that his administration will work with any house that has quorum has emboldened the Cone's faction, intensifying the fight for numbers on the legislative floor. Sources within the capital suggest that some lawmakers previously aligned with Kong are reconsidering their stance in light of the Supreme Court's decision, potentially shifting momentum back in favor of Kofa. Legislators close to Kofa's camp are reportedly reaching across the ISO in a bid to regain majority control of the main chamber, which lost quorum last October amid the political stalemate. Despite reports that Kofa may consider stepping down, insiders say he is seeking to demonstrate that he still commands majority confidence before making any final decision. His efforts have received a boost following the departure of two key figures from the Kon camp, Representative Samuel G. Koga, now elected to the Liberian Senate, and Maryland County Representative Isaac Rowland, who has publicly committed to the rule of law. Speaking at a recent press conference at the Capitol building, Rep. Rowland emphasized constitutional integrity over political alignment. I was elected to serve the people, not to follow party lines blindly. When we abandon the Constitution for personal or political convenience, we fail the Liberian people, he stated, adding to the shifting dynamics. Vaughan County District Number 6 Representative Mama Briggs Mensah, once a supporter of Speaker Kofa, signaled a potential breakaway from the majority bloc currently on assignment with ECOWAS in the Gambia. Briggs Mensah declared her intention to support Kofa's removal if he fails to maintain quorum. Failure of Speaker Kofa to spur the majority on his side would suggest that he has lost the moral authority over the House. She said, "It is time to restore the honor, dignity, and seriousness of the legislature." Despite acknowledging the Supreme Court's ruling, Rep. Briggs Mensah maintained that her legislative duty remains paramount. Meanwhile, concerns of alleged financial inducements have resurfaced, with some lawmakers suggesting that members of the executive branch may be using resources to retain influence over the Khan-led faction. Critics argue that the Bouakas administration's continue to support the invalidated majority bloc is driven by a desire for legislative control rather than constitutional adherence. Following the Supreme Court's ruling, President Bouakas said, "Let me be clear. Under my leadership, the government of Liberia would not be held hostage by narrow interests or acts of lawlessness. The work of governance will continue." Observers believe the president's stance is fueling the ongoing division in the House, with potential long term implications for legislative independence and the country's democratic process. As the legislature reconvenes, all eyes are on how lawmakers will realign, whether COFA can reclaim functional authority, and how both branches of government will navigate the legal and political fallout of the crisis. So that's the story. Battle for quorum. Power struggle intensifies in House as Kofa and Kun camps lobby for majority support. And then lastly, let's get says crush hopes. Rock crushers in Louisiana Township struggle for survival amid economic hardship. And these are the big stories. We're about to bring you a glimpse at ArcelorMittal Liberia's 800 million bold investment in rail infrastructure, reshaping Liberia's economic future. Since 2006, ArcelorMittal Liberia has invested over 800 million in rebuilding the once devastated 243-kilometer railway to U.S. heavy haul standards. By 2025, operations have expanded to accommodate 5 daily hour wagon trains, each pulling 120 wagons, an unprecedented advancement for Liberia's mining logistics. That's positive news for Liberia. And then lastly, majority bloc press conference marred by math mistakes and confusion. Counting crisis is a question mark. The majority bloc's insistence on commanding 49 members, despite a visibly lower turnout of 31 lawmakers during their public appearance, immediately invited scrutiny. A confused roll call only deepens doubt. That deepens doubt with absentee figures fluctuating between 10, 12, and 14 ultimately. Their map unrevealed even at the most generous count. They still fall short of the 49 seats they claim and the two-thirds constitutional threshold needed to remove a sitting speaker. Very, very interesting. I think we can take few lines before you bring us the Daily Observer. So let's get few lines from this story. It's very, very interesting. All right, folks. So we get into that story, and this is going to be our final from the front page Africa newspaper. The self-proclaimed majority bloc in the House of Representatives has suffered a major setback in its ongoing effort to remove Speaker J. Fonati Kofa, following a chaotic press conference that exposed inconsistencies in their claimed support and deepened concerns about their legitimacy during their event, which was streamed live. A physical count revealed only 31 lawmakers present, contradicting the bloc's claim of 37 attendees. The situation grew more confusing when the clerk of the House tasked with recording absentee members fluctuated between figures of 10, 12, and 14. Despite Despite this, the bloc later claimed to have the support of 49 lawmakers, a number that doesn't match even their own math. Critics quickly pointed out that inconsistencies, if 37 were indeed present and 14 absent. That would total 51 members, not 49. Even with the inclusion of newly elected lawmakers, Thomas Romeo Quia and Emmanuel Dan, observers note that the bloc's actual strength is closer to 45, still short of the constitutionally required two-thirds majority. 49 of 73 members needed to remove the speaker. Their credibility took a further blow with reports that Representative Bernard D.J. Blow Benson and Austin B. Taylor have defected from the bloc. Meanwhile, the names of Rep. Ta Wongwei and Muhammad Briggs Mensa were listed among bloc members, despite both publicly distancing themselves from the movement. No individual, no institution